everybody, this is Brian with Inspiring How You See That. We're the channel that talks about all different kinds of music and entertainment, and we interview some of your favorite artists. So today I have a very special treat. We have Forsaken Hero with us. We have Emily and Casey. And guys, thank you so much for spending this time with us.
Hey, well, thanks for having us. We're glad to be here.
Absolutely. So we're here actually at Kingdom Come Festival in Indiana 2021. And you guys came up from Virginia, if I remember correctly, right?
Yep. Yeah, we live about 30 minutes from the Tennessee line on Virginia in a place called Marion and Abingdon, Virginia. It's right near Bristol, so we're almost in Tennessee, like hopping and skip away from Tennessee, but yeah.
Nice. So how long of a trip was it to get here?
To the festival, it's about 9 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you guys came up yesterday for day one?
We did, but we actually came up a little bit earlier and went even further into up into Indiana to go to the Great Lakes and check them out.
Oh, nice.
And, yeah, went for a swim at the beach. So yeah.
Very cool. Now you guys actually did your set. You kicked off today for Saturday. Yep. So how did that go?
Oh, it went really good. You know, this is our third year kind of being the Saturday opener because we're kind of like CCM rock. We're kind of like the softer rock that kind of like curves the day up into like a worshipful, and then kind of brings it into that rock momentum as the next bands come on, so we kind of get the train rolling with that.
Sure.
Yeah.
So how long have you guys been together as far as the band goes?
As far as the band goes, we began in 2011, so this is our 10-year anniversary of the band, because I was, right after my sophomore year in high school we started. I think she was like 11 or 12 when she started singing in the band. And so we've just been going at it for 10 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so how many albums have you released up to this point?
I think 4 or 5 albums since like right out of high school, and EPs and albums throughout since 2011.
Okay.
So yeah.
And who would you say have been maybe your musical influences as far as your style as a band?
Style-wise, starting out was very much like Stryper and Skillet and Petra and groups like that. And then as we went on, we started realizing we liked a lot of pop rock and stuff, so we got more into like Toby Mac and people like that. Like, well, Toby Mac was always, and DC Talk were always an influence, but a lot of like the different pop rock groups and things like that used a lot of synth, and especially if they were using strings and like that, like anything that had like that symphony feel, and a lot of our newer stuff is like after I saw the Greatest Showman movie, like it changed my whole perspective of how I wrote music.
Gotcha.
Because I wanted to write anthem songs that people want to get stuck in their head for like weeks and weeks at a time. So anything that's got a big chorus hook and everything like that is what we're trying to write and be a part of that kind of musical movement with that. Lots of orchestral stuff, piano, very theatrical.
Nice.
In our writing.
Very cool. Now, you guys had a song that you wrote about, I believe it was a friend that passed away. Mm-hmm. Can you kind of talk about that song a little bit?
Well, we actually had 2 songs last year. That was on our Quarantine Tapes album. We had a song about our friend Chris, who during quarantine took his own life, and it was a friend that we had grew up together, went to high school with, and had grown apart, and that was kind of where the song comes from. It's because it's called My Regret, and it's called Goodbye My Friend, My Regret in parentheses, and it's just talking about the regrets of, I should have been there, I should have called you more, what if, we always have the what if questions, and that's what the song is all about, your what ifs that you get stuck with, because when someone loses their life out of their own doing, it's
out of despair.
You feel that there's so much, like, what could I have done? Like, you feel helpless in the situation. I feel like that's a lot different from when someone dies of a disease or something like that, because it's like, how could I have changed the outcome of that event? And then she wrote a song about her friend.
So we also released a song called Gracie's Song. We decided to do a 1-week quarantine after KCF last year. And I woke up to a message from my mom, and she was like, hey, do you remember Gracie that you graduated with? And I was like, well, yeah, I remember Gracie. And she was like, she passed away last night. And I remember being so dumbfounded. I was like, what are you talking about? And they were like, and she was like, yeah, she was in a really bad car accident. And it really, like, our whole graduating class, it just shook us to our core, because Gracie was this beautiful, amazing Christian girl who just continuously loved on the community and on children. And so, and she loved sunflowers. And so the chorus of the song says, I hope you're running through fields of sunflowers. And just to really like kind of capture like the beauty that Gracie was and how she saw the world through God's eyes. And it was just it was such a tragic event for our whole community. And so that one was definitely, I wrote that song the same day, and we actually recorded it after her funeral that day.
Yeah, we recorded it the day after she passed away.
Yeah.
And then recorded it, sent it off to mix and master, had it out in the next week, because we wanted it to be something that the community could have to grieve to, like to have a song that was specific to the grieving that they were going through and that we were all going through together. Yeah.
And I remember seeing the video for it, and it was touching, and it made you want to cry, but it was beautiful because it showed her, you could see her smiling. It's
Yeah.
I never met her, obviously, but it was really a touching tribute, and you felt like that was somebody that everybody loved.
Right,
She
for
was,
sure.
yeah.
And it was amazing that even after life, she's still serving Christ through that. So
Yeah, they started an organization in her name called Love Like Gracie, and they did donations to do scholarships, and they also did donations to build a playground for an after-school program that she worked with special needs children.
excellent,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Excellent.
she was an absolutely amazing servant for sure.
nice. And then on a lighter note, so you guys also, like you said, you kind of have the CCM, kind of the pop Christian, but you have some rock elements in some of your songs too.
Yeah, we always want to still keep the rock heart, even
Yeah.
though we may not be playing as heavy of music as we used to. We still want to have that element there so that rock people can still enjoy our music, and pop people and people that even like just worship music can still hear the message in it and still have a good time listening to it.
Sure. And I like how the two of you sing also. So you keep it fresh. You've got both of you as lead vocalists,
Yeah.
basically.
Right, for sure. Yeah,
So how did that decision come? Did she just force her way?
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it was. Like, I mean, you gotta, if you put it in the perspective of a kid in high school and his 12-year-old sister being like, I want to sing with you guys. I want to sing. I
Your
want to be on
parents
the
are probably like,
stage
just
too."
let her sing
Yeah,
a
that's-
song.
She was
That's
like,
actually exactly what
That's
happened.
100% what happened. Our mom was like, just let her get up there, and so she'll be quiet about it after this. And so it came from that. And I mean, we've always found it to be a good thing, especially because we get vocal rest from song to each song.
Sure.
We try to plan a set out to where it's like I'm almost never singing 2 songs in a row fully.
Gotcha.
And so we're back and forth and back and forth. So it definitely helps us a lot, especially if we're ever headlining and doing like a 15-song set or something. It's very taxing on the vocals.
Sure.
So yeah.
Excellent. Now, what's
Yeah.
coming up next for you guys?
Well, we're doing this and hanging out with all of our friends, and then next week we'll be back in our area in a place called Sugar Grove, and we're trying to book some more stuff, and we're working on some new music now.
Nice.
And in September we have a show in Virginia also with the band We Are Called that wrote Drop Your Chains with us.
Oh,
we'll
very
be doing
cool.
a show with them. So yep, doing just trying to get back into shows now that COVID is kind of like those restrictions are finally coming off, and
Thank God.
yeah. And I also play in a band called The Midnight Wedding
Okay.
that are actually from this area, and they live in Nashville now, and they just had a #1 single on the rock radio with Kevin from Disciple, their song Enforcers, and we'll be playing at Life Fest in July in
Nice.
Nashville. So we'll be playing with Michael W. Smith and Matthew West and a bunch of
Oh,
big groups
awesome.
like that. So yeah, it'll be really neat. I think we're because they're a heavy metal band, I think they're like the one big rock band of the day, so
Sure.
that'll be cool.
Very
So
cool.
we're excited about that too. But, yeah.
Now, where can fans follow you guys online at?
We have Facebook, Instagram. Do we have Twitter? We have Twitter.
We do have Twitter.
We have Twitter, kind of.
I don't like Twitter.
We're
That's
not
what I guess we have
people.
Twitter.
We
Listen,
have
we don't-
Twitter, but Facebook and Instagram is where you're going to find us the quickest. We're on all streaming platforms, and Spotify's my favorite, so stream us on Spotify.
Yeah.
She's Apple Music, but
Yeah.
we always argue about iPhone versus Android and things like that. So anywhere music can be found, you'll find us there.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
Now, before we sign off, is there anything you guys would like to say to fans?
Well, thanks for your continued support over the last 10 years. We're excited to keep doing it, and hopefully we'll be able to release some new music soon that you guys will really enjoy and will help connect you better to Christ.
Excellent. Casey, Emily, thank you so much for taking this time with us. We appreciate
Hey, well,
it.
thanks for having us.
Thank you.
We're glad that you asked us to come be interviewed.
Absolutely. And as always, thank you guys so much. Like always, we'll put their links down below so it'll be easy to find their music. And thank you for spending this time. We love you all. God bless, and rock on.
When I don't know what tomorrow will bring, I just know that